If you get skittish and squirmish and you really don't want to know about the ins and outs of pregnancy, then this video is not for you because we are going down and dirty with how pregnancy and delivery is. Hey guys, it's Hope Said It, back with another Hope Said It Uncut video for you. And this video, we're going like uncut, because we're talking about all things pregnancy, delivery, not the little glowy stuff you Google about, the real deal, real experience. Oh my goodness, no one told me about this type stuff with pregnancy. You can check it out at my latest blog post at hopesaidit.com. But in this video, because you guys are my people, I'm going to just layer it out more, explain more, and add some extra details that you want to know about it. So yeah, pregnancy. First of all, if you want to get pregnant, if you are pregnant, whatever, I just want to help you through the process because no one necessarily told me everything about pregnancy and, oh, here's how it is. And this is how it goes. So I just want to give you what I didn't have in depth, at least. Okay. So let's hop right to it. Number one, morning sickness. That's a common one. People tell you about morning sickness all the time, but don't let the name fool you. It's not just morning. It could be afternoon, night, child, overnight, whatever. It's not just morning. You get sick. Not all the time. At least for my 3 pregnancies, y'all know I have 3 boys. For my pregnancies, let me think. I was probably sick for the first, sick and tired, as in like I couldn't even move. I was like, I would go to work, come home, and be out. So that happened for the first 13 weeks-ish for all pregnancies. So, sometimes people don't get morning sickness, and I do wish that for you. I hope you never get sick. I hope all the things good happen in your pregnancy, but I'm just telling you, there's a probability that it won't work out like that. I had morning sickness for 13 weeks. For each pregnancy. Some of my friends had it for like their whole pregnancy. And look at people like Princess Kate. She was out for the count, very sick for her whole pregnancy. So just know those hormones moving can affect you differently. And morning sickness is real. Sometimes it lasts only a couple weeks. Sometimes it lasts the whole time. Throw up, vomiting, all that good stuff. I know one time, hopefully my husband doesn't remember the story. Well, he will now that I'm saying it. But anyway, we were at Sonic and we got this, I got the chicken tender meal, or I don't know, some chicken dinner meal. And I finished eating it and then I was just like, oh, okay. I don't know, I feel, and like threw the whole thing up in the bag. And he's just eating like, I'm not hungry anymore. So just know it can kind of sneak up on you. That sickness can sneak up on you, and nausea. Even if you don't actually throw up, I couldn't smell coffees. I couldn't smell. There's a lot of smells that irked me, and we don't even drink coffee. I'm talking about like, you go to work and that Folgers in the cup you can smell, but I couldn't smell coffee. I know one time I came home, my husband was cooking steak. I could not, I had to go outside. I was like, it just gagging. And it's odd the things that will trigger you, but absolutely. To add to that, after morning sickness, you will get cravings, that's not necessarily a dark side of pregnancy, but just know that even if you hate something now, you could love it during pregnancy. I know I was on like a croissant. I like croissants anyway, but I don't really do carbs like that. I was on a croissant kick. I was on did I do watermelons? Oh my gosh. One time I could only eat personal pan pizzas. It's always the unhealthy stuff. I'm like, I'm craving a spicy McChicken. I never craved like celery or anything like that. It was always some junky junk, like Crunchwrap Supreme, some stuff I didn't have since college. So sometimes I'm like, what are my cravings, or like just my inner fat girl being like, hey, you want to order this? But anyways, morning sickness, and then I just added that caveat of cravings. Next, there are going to be changes to your skin and your hair. Mine personally, my skin, did it glow? I guess for the first couple of weeks, maybe, but maybe it was just a new moisturizer. I couldn't just say I was pregnant and glowing because I did kind of break out sometimes, like those pimples here and there that just pop up. That's what happened as well. But one of my friends, she had 6 like cystic pimples for pregnancy. Just know that, those hormones can just mess up your skin sometimes as well. So it's not always glowing and oh my gosh, everything's perfect. Some people it is, but just know it's not always that way. With hair, my hair was actually really good for pregnancy. My hair was really good. I don't do much with it anyways. It was either like in a ponytail or whatever, but it was good. I mean, my sides were full. I'm talking about my sides look like a chimp, okay? And that could seem like, why does she want her sides to look like a monkey? Either way, it was full, like Teresa off of Real Housewives full. Like it was full, full, full. I never had it before, so I don't really miss it. It's not like, where my sides go. But postpartum shedding is real. So during pregnancy, sure, yes, my hair was lovely. But when that baby came out, 3 months after that, I mean, it was shedding. My edges left. Like, it left. I don't even know where it went, how it went, when it decided to pack. I just looked at the mirror one day and I was like, oh my gosh, it just left. And that's something I was not expecting. What else? Shedding a lot as well because the hair growth cycle slows down, so it's not shedding as much. And then once you have that baby, it's like, psych, all the shedding you should have had and more. So that's the process for that, and that's kind of why it was a little devastating for me. I think if you take your prenatal vitamins even after, like during your pregnancy and even kind of after it as well, it helps with that process because you're kind of adding those nutrients still into your hair. But postpartum shedding is going to happen. Even if you can't stop it all the way, hopefully you can just slow it down. And even if you can't do all that, just nurture it back to health. I have videos about lock moisture method or all that good stuff that you need to know about just nurturing your hair back to life. I have done it how many times in my lifetime, and I will do it again, whatever. Speaking of skin, everything was swollen for me. Like not even a cute swollen, like, oh, you look a little puffed up. I mean swollen, especially in that third trimester. Mind you, some people get preeclampsia and like the baby does a number to your body. So just know that you could get high blood pressure and high blood sugar and all this other stuff and preeclampsia. And there are conditions that could happen specifically because you're pregnant. I didn't have any of those, but I was just swollen. I mean, I literally had to cut my last pregnancy. I had to cut the ring off of my finger, or the jeweler did, but either way, that sounds rich, huh? The jeweler, it was literally just a shop. But anyways, I had to cut the ring. He had to cut the ring off of my finger, the wedding and engagement one, off my finger. I did all the tricks. I don't care if you're like, oh, you shouldn't have did that. Just do the string and the Windex and this and the butter. And it doesn't matter what it was. That thing was stuck. Okay. It was fat and stuck. Okay. Everything was swollen. So that's probably the part that sucks the most. Weight gain sucks anyway, sure. I gained 50 pounds with each of my pregnancies. I'll probably do another video about how I lost it. That takes a toll, because it's 50 pounds, not necessarily fast, but kind of fast. You just, in 9 months, boop, you just get bigger because you're growing a human inside of you. But yeah, it was a lot. It was a lot. Swollen fingers, swollen feet. My shoe size grew by 1. Like I'm usually an 8.5, 9. Oh, I was wearing 10s easily, because I was just so fat-footed. It was crazy. Obviously, clothes you gotta buy more. Your nose will spread. It's just everything is full. Some people look cute like that. Me myself, Hope did not look cute like that. You're like trapped in an inflated body and you just get more uncomfortable. That kind of takes me to my next point, which is the pains and the aches and the joints and all that other stuff that happened because you gain weight. I guess this is why, because you gain the weight, that's a stressor to your joints and your body and everything like that you didn't have before. I mean, my hips hurt. My back hurts, especially third trimester. Third trimester, first, second, I'm okay. Third, especially those last 2 months, just call it quits. I'm barely sleeping. I'm tossing and turning. I'm sitting down uncomfortable because I can barely breathe. And I'm like, it's just a lot. You're waddling. You're really thinking like, should I get up? Do I need to get up right now? No, I'll just sit down right here. I don't even need to get up, so it's a lot on your body. It really is. Towards the end, when I had to go to the store, I'd have to do the mobile stuff, the things that the motorized carts. I was in that. I got ugly looks from old people and stuff like that, but what does that matter? What does that matter? I can't walk. I literally it would pain my joints, my my innards, like my hips. It was just like blah 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 blah, and it would hurt. And I was like, I just need to sit down. So I would always go on those motorized carts and look like a loser. These are mild symptoms. I'm just explaining what I had. People lose their teeth during pregnancy because there's this, gum thing that happens and then the teeth fall out. And there's a lot of things that could happen. Pregnancy is not a walk in the park. Blame Eve. But it's magical at the end. But going through it, it's not a walk in the park. It's not just, oh, I'm pregnant and oh, I'm fat and oh, I want pickles and ice cream. And no, I wish it was that easy. It does take a toll, especially if you're still living life. You still got to go to work. Some of you still have to, if you have another kid already, you still have to take care of the kid. You still have to cook. You still, whatever. Either way, you still have to do things. You can't just sit around and be a princess and whatever. And if you can, more power to you. Let me tell you about delivery. I was shocked. I mean, especially when first time, you're like, I don't really know what happens. And listen, you could be better than me and take delivery classes, Lamaze this and the bird thing this. I took no classes. Okay, I just did a tour of the hospital that I chose, and I was like, oh, okay, yeah, this is cute. Oh, good bedding. Nurses seem nice. That's it. I didn't know anything about the process of having a baby. So count that on my fault. Okay. Take classes and stuff. I came in there blind. Like, okay, we pushing. So my first child, oh, he was like a week and a half late. Okay. So going to the hospital, I didn't compute how big a head is, okay, and how small 10 centimeters is. So, especially my son's, I mean, he was 98 percentile head. He had a big head, okay? He's very smart, but he has a big head, and that had to come out of me. And so I was pushing. There was a time where I think I blacked out. I felt like, oh my gosh, this thing is not coming out. I'm going to have a C-section. I mean, we're pushing and you feel like nothing is happening. And I'm like, okay, what? I don't really know how to push. No one taught me. The doctor was awesome though. So like on the spot, I was like, oh yeah, let me get a crash course. It's crazy though, because the contractions. I got an epidural. So, I didn't feel as much as I probably should have felt, but you just feel constriction. It's like horrible, horrible period pains. Because for my second and third child, I had more contraction feelings like that. I think even for my second or third one, the epidural didn't even take, so I felt the whole thing. But it's like horrible cramps, horrible. You're like your worst period cramps times whatever. I don't get period cramps, so that I was like, if people experience this monthly, woo, I'm sorry, So just going through that, knowing that this big old head is coming through a little old hole, y'all. I had 4-3, and I didn't know. Mind you, you don't know. I didn't know I tore. Like, what? Finally, this head plops out, like literally, like this. Like plops out, like boop, and then his body just slides out with it. Like the body was nothing. That head was something. So after that, the doctor was just like, okay, yeah, this and that. And I'm like, what's she still doing under there? Like, the baby's out. Come on. She said, oh, yeah, it's 4-3 tears. So I'm just sewing it up. I'm like, that doesn't seem good. If it's 1-5 or something and I got 4, that's not so good. So you can tear down there. You definitely bleed. And obviously, you would think, like, everything is retrospect. You would think, well, duh, you would bleed. I didn't think I'd bleed for weeks, So they'll give you, this care thing and, oh, make sure to do this and the peri bottle or whatever it's called. Here's these little plastic underwear stuff and these dinosaur pads, and I mean, it's ridiculous. So I'm thinking, okay, yeah, this is gonna be cool for like, 3 days, like a period, right? No, I'm like, why am I still bleeding to this day? So you will bleed for a while. It's just all the things coming out of you. Delivery is something else. Now, if you do a natural birth, congrats. I know people who've done water birth, I know people who, um, well, no, I don't know people who do this. I watched Sister Wives and I saw that they had their baby in the bed. Oh, they're in pain, jail. Oh, I had enough pain. I'm good. I just will continue praying and believing God for safe deliveries in the hospital. I said that as if I'm having another kid. I'm not. So we have 3. We're good. So yeah, delivery, just make sure you have a good support system. I don't know. Yeah, obviously you can do it without one, but the process is easier if you're just like, oh my gosh, and you have support around you as well. And then after that, after delivery, just know that even if you don't have postpartum depression, you have you have like baby blues. I think the nurses and obviously medical people call it, you have baby blues because you just don't feel yourself. You're like, oh, I'm happy I have this kid. But then you look down, listen, when you use the bathroom and you have to see if you see yourself in the mirror, you'll be like, I didn't come in like this. Like, what is this? I had tree trunk, because mind you, you're still gonna be swollen. So just know that. I had tree trunk legs. It's almost like you see your weight gain in a new way, because it's not like, oh, and it's a cute little belly and I can blame all the weight gain on this fella. After the baby's out, who you gonna blame it on? So like the belly is lower, but it's kind of like a deflated balloon. So instead of it being like, oh, look, it's like, and so it's like jiggly, and it's a lot. So you have jiggle, you got thighs, you got this and that. Some people snap right back up. Okay. Some people snap back, and congrats to you. But for the majority of us, we will have that time of loose skin and this and that. Don't think of all that though. I know it's hard, but don't think about that, especially in the first 6 months or something. Worry about nourishing your child. Worry about you healing. Worry about, just chilling out. You went through a lot. So it's easy to get stuck on that because, hello, we got mirrors everywhere. And you'll walk around and be like, oh, crap, am I that big? Oh, I did get bigger. This face is not going down. And don't believe the lie that breastfeeding is supposed to make you drop 50 pounds in 2 weeks. Okay. Some people it does. Congratulations. Me, I literally did not lose 1 pound through breastfeeding until I stopped. I breastfed all of my kids for maybe 6 to 9 months, and I was like, oh, okay, well, I guess this is the weight I'm going to lose. Boo. I still have about 20 pounds to go. But once I stopped, like within the next 2 weeks, like 10, 15 pounds down, and then I always ended up in that, oh, I have like 10, 15 pounds to go state. And that's when I had to get my workout videos on. And like I said, losing weight after pregnancy, it's a whole nother video, but just know that it can be done, and don't worry about it. Don't be like me, because I literally was like, ugh, and then I guess I'll eat. Eat what you need to eat for the baby. Just don't overdo it or anything, but just eat what you need to eat. If you have postpartum depression, like a serious, funk, or you feel detached from the baby, or you just don't want to get up in the morning, you don't want to care for the baby, something more severe, contact a doctor immediately. Okay. It's not just you. It's not, nothing's wrong with you. You're not a bad mom because of it. It's just imbalances going on inside of you. So just make sure you seek immediate attention for that, because there is help for you as well. That's all I had. I only talk what I know. So that's what I know about the bad sides of pregnancy, and that it could get worse. It could be worse for some people. I'm just telling you, for me, and I think I probably had like the standard type pregnancy, nothing too crazy. I wasn't diagnosed with anything, whatever. But I mean, it's not a walk in the park. Some people, it's like, oh no, it was like nothing. And then I had a baby. Congrats. That's another extreme. And some people are bedridden since month 2, So just know there are ranges to it. Be prepared for it. Okay, be prepared for the worst. And if it doesn't happen, say hallelujah. That's it. Okay, guys. Well, that's a wrap for today. Hope Said It, marriage, motherhood, hair, and life. I will talk to you guys later. Make sure you follow me on social media at Hope Said It to just keep up with me. And if you have any other comments about how your pregnancy went, any advice you want to give, drop it below, because this is a community and we help each other out. See you next week. Bye. I don't know which one of these hoes I'm supposed to be looking at, so I could be looking in the wrong place.